Poor single-dad mechanic gave his last $18 to a female cop. The next day, 5 luxury cars stopped at his garage. The morning sun had barely climbed over the rooftops when a single decision, worth only $18, quietly rewrote a man's entire life. It was the kind of moment most people would forget by the next day, but for one struggling single father standing outside his small garage, it would become the turning point between barely surviving and finally being seen. Before we go deeper into this story, take a second to pause. If you believe that kindness still matters, that good people deserve second chances, and that small actions can change everything, please like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel, Grandma Dearie. Your support helps keep stories like this alive. Ethan Morales woke up every day before sunrise, not because he wanted to, but because survival demanded it. His small auto repair garage sat on the edge of town, its paint chipped, its sign faded by years of heat and dust. By day, the place smelled of oil and metal. By night, it echoed with silence and unpaid bills. Ethan was 32, a single dad with rough hands, tired eyes, and a heart heavier than the toolboxes he carried. Ever since his wife passed away 2 years earlier from a sudden illness, his world had shrunk to just 2 things: keeping the garage open and raising his 6-year-old daughter, Mia. Money was always short. Some days he made just enough to cover electricity and rent. Other days, nothing at all. That particular morning, Ethan checked his wallet and found a single folded bill and a few coins. $18. That was it. It had to stretch into groceries, gas, and maybe milk for Mia. He tucked the money back into his pocket and stepped outside the garage, wiping grease from his worn blue mechanic uniform, which bore the marks of long hours and unpaid effort. That was when he noticed the police car pulled over near the curb. The female officer stood beside it, her posture calm but tired, as if she too had been carrying a long day on her shoulders. Her name was Officer Rachel Collins, though Ethan didn't know that yet. She wasn't issuing tickets or questioning anyone. She was simply standing there, looking at her phone with a quiet frustration that didn't match the authority of her uniform. Ethan learned soon enough that her patrol car had broken down unexpectedly, and the department's tow truck was tied up across town. She wasn't asking for help. She wasn't begging. She was just waiting. Ethan checked his garage. No customers. No appointments. Nothing but silence and the sound of traffic passing by. He walked over, inspected the vehicle, and realized the fix would be quick, but parts and time were limited. As he worked under the open hood in broad daylight, sweat rolling down his forehead, he knew something else too. Helping her meant delaying his own work and possibly losing the chance of earning anything that day. Still, he finished the repair with steady hands and stepped back. When Officer Collins reached for her wallet to pay, Ethan waved it off. She insisted. He shook his head. Eventually, she offered a small amount, apologetic, clearly aware that she didn't have much cash on her either. That's when Ethan did something that didn't make sense on paper. He reached into his pocket, pulled out the folded bills, and pressed them into her hand. $18. His last money. He told her it would help cover a meal or coffee during her long shift. He didn't explain why. He didn't say he was broke. He didn't say his daughter was waiting at home. He simply smiled, a tired but genuine smile, and went back into his garage. That evening, Ethan went home with empty pockets and a full heart. He cooked a simple dinner for Mia, assuring her everything was fine. He lay awake that night staring at the ceiling, wondering if he had been foolish, wondering how he'd manage tomorrow. Still, something inside him felt strangely peaceful, as if he had done what he was supposed to do, regardless of the cost. The next morning arrived bright and clear. Sunlight spilled across the concrete as Ethan unlocked his garage, expecting another slow day. He was rolling up the door when the sound of engines caught his attention. One car. Then another. Then more. He stepped outside, squinting against the light, and froze. 5 luxury vehicles rolled to a stop in front of his garage. Sleek, polished, expensive. Cars that didn't belong anywhere near his modest shop. People passing by slowed down. Neighbors peeked out from windows. Ethan stood there in disbelief, grease-stained uniform and all, wondering if this was some kind of mistake. From the lead car stepped Officer Rachel Collins, no longer in uniform, followed by several well-dressed men and women. She looked different now, not because of clothes, but because her expression carried something warm and determined. She explained that the $18 he gave her wasn't just money. It came at a moment when she was overwhelmed, questioning her own path, and feeling invisible in her own struggles. His kindness had reminded her why she chose to serve others in the first place. Rachel's family owned a regional chain of auto dealerships. The people with her were business partners and investors. She had told them about the mechanic who gave his last dollars to help someone he didn't owe anything to. They didn't come out of pity. They came out of respect. What followed changed Ethan's life forever. They paid off his overdue bills. They invested in upgrading the garage. New equipment. New signage. A steady contract for fleet maintenance. Opportunities Ethan never imagined were suddenly real. But more than the money, they gave him something he hadn't felt in years: relief. As the sun climbed higher, Ethan looked at his garage, no longer just a place of survival but a future. He thought about Mia. About stability. About hope. All born from a decision that cost him $18 and earned him a lifetime of change. If this story is touching your heart right now, please take a moment to like this video, comment, and share it. Stories like Ethan's deserve to be felt, not forgotten. And before this story ends, I have a special request for you. Comment below and tell us, do you believe one small act of kindness can truly change a life? By the end of that day, as the sunlight softened and the garage buzzed with new energy, Ethan realized something powerful. Kindness doesn't always return the way we expect. Sometimes, it comes back bigger, louder, and right on time. If this story moved you, don't forget to engage with the video. Your support helps keep hope alive here on Grandma Dearie.